This tutorial is to discuss gradients and how to add gradients. So I'm just going to go ahead and select my square tool over here. You can see I have a white fill and a black stroke. I'm simply going to add a square. And you'll see if I click off of it, it has the black stroke, it has the white fill. I'm just going to select it again and go to my gradient tool, which is right here. I'm going to double click it, which brings up our gradient tab. And over here, we can actually see the gradient slider. If you click on that, it just goes ahead and it applies the white to black gradient. And you can see there's different information here. This is one of the sliders. It's the white. You can move that, so it changes the point where the white goes. Same thing with the black. And even the center point here, so you can move the center point of the gradient. A lot of students always ask, how do I add additional colors? You can see if I drag over here with my mouse, the plus button comes up. That allows me to add a gradient. You can see it also adds additional center points. If I want to throw those out, I'm just dragging them down, and that gets rid of them. If I click here, I can also change to a radial gradient. Completely different effect. Obviously, it's a square, so it isn't working as well as a circle would, but I'm just going to change back to a linear so we can keep working with it. Over here we have preset gradients. We're not really going to mess with those, but we will discuss color and how to add color. Right after we take a look at this line, you can see the gradial slider is also used here. So you can edit your gradial slider right on top of your actual shape. And you can even move this line by just simply clicking and moving it. This works in the radial setting as well. Change the radial gradient setting. Let's check that out. Now I'm just going to click here and drag off. You can see it's moving my gradient. Radial style. I'll go back to linear. And I'm just going to show how to change colors. So, I have white over here. I'm just going to go ahead and click on that white. And as you can see, it's set to grayscale now. It's all grays. I'm going to go over here to RGB, and I can select a color. Very simple. And I'll show you again one more time. Double click on the black, and go ahead and change to RGB again. And let's go with a red. Of course, as I told you previously, we can go ahead and add another color. Let's change that color. I'm going to go with yellow. Creates almost a rainbow effect. Another thing a lot of students are interested in is changing the opacity levels in here. You can see opacity comes up there. You can do that directly in here. So now it's kind of see through that yellow. You can really see it on the slider over here. But it makes a big difference when you're really stacking shapes that have gradients. Like maybe a flame. Some flames you're going to want to have a gradient going on. So you can see additional flame shapes behind it. But yeah, you can see the opacity adjustments going on in there. Right here you have your reverse gradient. That basically just goes ahead and flips it. That can obviously be helpful as well. That's pretty much it for the gradient tool. If you guys have any more questions, obviously, feel free to ask me. Thanks.